creators, be very, very careful. Only use the studio music. And
I was like, just hello, everybody. Hello. I almost missed my own show. I had it first fixed for tomorrow. Miss Janice had to say, Smiley. And then I almost missed it by the countdown. So anyway, if it's meant to be, it'll be. Hey. Hello, Miss Millie, and hello, Janice. Hello, Kiki. And I just got your email. Not yet. Girl, you're getting way ahead of yourself. Just calm down. It's going to be perfect. Hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We're going to do a late night tonight. Hello, Retha. Hello, Michelle Scott. Hello. The other Sharon. Aloha, JH. Hello. Robin. Hello. How is everyone? Beverly. Good to see everyone. I hope everyone's doing great tonight. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything going on around here. Just good to see you. So I hope everybody is doing great. It's still in some places, I guess. Some places it's different, but it's still the 18th. I have to look because, yeah, it's still hump day. It's still hump day. We're fixing to be over this hump pretty soon. So how's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? Good. You're here for it, Retha? You're here for it? Uh-oh. Oh, okay. There we go. All right. So welcome, everyone. It's Thursday there. Oh, yeah, you're an hour ahead of me. That's right. I was like, wait a minute. Where are you at? Hey, SI officer. Keep forgetting. You know what? They just need to have it a smooth sailing across the board and have it just one time zone. And they need to have it night and day, the time, don't change the time. Don't mess with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hey, Show Poodle. Hello. Hope you're doing good, too. I hope you're doing good. Now, I know probably Hawaii's a whole different time, too. I don't know. They may be on the same time. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. We don't know what we don't know. Really? Okay. Got you there. Been getting ready for vacation. How much longer before you go on vacation? Can't be that much longer. Yeah, Smiley I'm going to stop saying I don't know nothing. I got some new merch coming out. I'm supposed to be getting here shortly. Before we're going to show it before we put it up. But I might be getting it by Monday. I don't know. Maybe sooner. I should have thought about that. See, things just come off the top of my head. I should have said, Smiley don't know what she don't know. That should have been my don't know what I don't know. Not I don't know nothing. It should be I don't know what I don't know. Spill it. What's on my mind? Oh, look at everything. Hey, we got some good news finally. Let's go over that. We do have some good news. I know y'all probably heard this over at Justin's, but we finally got some good news today. And I am so happy to tell y'all that the little girl, Clarabel, was found. Remember her. She was found alive and safe. Okay. We don't get that good news very often. That was great news. So after days of worrying and searching, she's home. Well, she's not home. Now, listen, last I checked, I had to leave Justin's early, but last I checked, hey, Cinderella and Drew K and everybody coming in. Well, the police was watching her, but last I checked, her dad has her. Correct me if I'm wrong, but her dad has her now. Her mom is in jail. Now, listen, this was the craziest mess I have ever seen. I know, Clarabel, right? Isn't that pretty? She is a miracle. They found her by the highway. Now, I'm not going to spend much time on all of these because I got a lot to go over tonight. But as soon, and I didn't put the video up on this one. Unfortunately, I didn't get to that one yet. But, and this one was first because I thought this was news. It needed to get out. Hey, Lorraine Law. Welcome. Lisa Thompson. I know. Listen. Well, Justin said he didn't put the picture out. But look, you could tell he was tore up because I could tell it in his face. Okay. I could tell Justin. But listen. Well, you know, and it was strange though, because you can survive so long without food and water. But you know, I don't know if it rained. I don't know. We don't know. I'm more concerned about how she survived without going in the road and all that. She's young. Well, she was just so dehydrated, weak, and wore out. Justin saw the picture. He said it was much, much worse. It was unblurred, so he said it was much worse than what we think and thought. He was just in tears. Said she was dehydrated, all the things. But anyway, when the first time he came on, and he just thought she was okay, and we thought somebody had just dropped her at the side of the highway. And at that time, you know, people was kind of getting on me in the audience because I typed in there. I'm like, look, her mom did this. I'm telling y'all. I could just, when I seen the audio or whatever, I was like, but they're like, but Smiley, she's in jail. She's been in jail. Then she had somebody to do it. Then she had somebody to do it and drop that little girl off on the side of the highway or something. Hey, Rogue and everybody coming in. There was something about it. I just knew. They're like, no. Okay. You know, everybody's like family there. I didn't want to make anybody upset. But then when he came on and they had the police conference, in the police conference, the little girl told them, the first thing she said to them was her mom told her to sit right there or stay right there, that she'd be back to get her. I said, do what? Did I hear that right? What did I see and hear that right? And he said, yes. And he was even surprised to that. So I got it right. And I didn't want to get that right. How could a mother do that? Well, did you see her mad video? Listen, what's wrong with these parents? What's wrong? You know, and what was she trying to get back at the father? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I was completely right. The only reason she couldn't go back and get the little girl was because they arrested her. They should have arrested her for the video alone, having that little girl in her arms and screaming and yelling on there about that. something is wrong with that lady. She has many more videos on TikTok and yada, yada, yada. Hey, everything's good in Smiley's Hood. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. I didn't pull it up, but it's a lot. I just wanted to get through this because I got so much, and that's the only one. I don't think. Yeah, I didn't pull that one up tonight. I was looking to see. I didn't pull that one up. But Justin's got it on his. It's out there. And it's probably, if you Google it, you can get it. I just didn't. I thank God she's found and it's got medical attention and is now with her father. I hope this woman never gets her back. I hate to say that about parents, and I know that most places work with the kids to get their, or the parents to get their kids back. Some of these don't deserve their kids back. Now, nonetheless, she was arrested and couldn't get her back, but this was some sick thing against. What if they stopped looking? What if they stopped looking? Hey, VA and everybody coming in. Hello, hello. But this was a miracle of hope. And it reminds me that this is why we always have to be persistent. We can't stop talking. We can't stop looking. And we can't stop doing all that things. I knew it. One more day, Justin said she would have been dead, the little girl. I mean, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So keep the faith and never stop talking about these children. Never stop looking. Never give up. It's wild. Hey, Rapper and everybody coming in. Some of you I might have missed. I'm so sorry. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, we're going to watch a couple of videos on this. Let's get to Jack and Lily. I haven't talked about them in a little bit. But what's going on in Jack and Lily Sullivan? Well, they haven't been found yet. It's going on 3 weeks, or it is 3 weeks already. The grandmother, that lady, I can tell she's a good lady. That's my opinion. Oh yeah, and the puppy. I hope the dad. I do too, Lorraine Law. I hope she gets Claire's puppy. My God, because Claire's already traumatized enough. But the puppy was left with Claire. Of course, the puppy didn't stay with Claire. Evidently, the puppy was somewhere more closer to home. And that was pretty sad. I don't know. Puppies are smart. Dogs are smart. I wonder if the dog was trying to go find help. I did wonder that. And could not, find help. So I did wonder that. But the grandmother, she didn't scream. She didn't curse. She didn't try to make headlines, in my opinion. I could tell she's a good woman. Some are giving her a hard time because she said the last time she seen Jack and Lily was about a year or a year and a half. But you got to remember, I don't know how it is there, but grandparents don't have no rights in a lot of these states. I don't know what the deal was. Malaya's been with Daniel for about 2 years now, I believe. And so we don't know what those circumstances was. We just don't know. And just because a grandparent don't have no rights or they get cut off, it doesn't mean it stops here. It doesn't mean that they didn't do everything that they can. I did too, Janice. But she didn't try to hog up the headlines. She didn't try to be, you see me. She didn't try any of that. She spoke softly. She spoke very kind. Her voice cracked. She's trying to hold it together. It didn't matter that when we found out it was a year and a half, and I'm speaking as a grandmother, it didn't matter that it was a year and a half. She was very humble. She was very humble. And she was very still broken up and choked up. She had never lost her feeling of love or anything for those kids at all. You know, she made Jack and Lily real to us. Lisa said, I know here in Newfoundland, grandparents can have rights. Yeah, and I guess it just depends on where you're at and all that. You know, and what's happening and what's going on. So I don't know. Maybe they can there. I don't know, but I don't want to lay blame because I know how it is here, but I don't know what's really happening or really going on. It'll all wash out, I'm sure. But anyway, she made Jack and Lily feel like it was just more human. And she's the one that's come out and talked about them. How they smiled, how they lived. And again, as a grandmother myself, there's just something different, something sacred about that role. And you know, if you're lucky enough to be a grandmother. I am too, Lorraine. I am too. I wish and I pray with everything they hurry up and find them. You know, and we know, unless by some miracle that they've already said, it's not a very good chance. And this grandmother says she don't feel that they are alive either. And she was very broken up about that. But if by some miracle that they are, it doesn't matter. Either way, they need to be found. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Either way, all of these children, whoever they are, need to be found. They're not wild animals. They can't just stay and be forgotten about. They just can't. Yeah, that piece of blanket thing, me too. You know, me too. There, in this case, there's a lot of rumors and speculations, though. So I don't know if that's truly theirs or not. I mean, I don't know. I've seen it. I've been reading on it. So, I mean, I don't know. Have they come out and said that was theirs? Because I did see it. I did see it. I don't know, but it's all confusing. It's very sad. But this grandmother also said Malaya used to be, and she used to, what's the key word? Used to be a good mother. She gave her credit credit was due. She was very humble about that. And I was floored. Yeah, you feel like it was planted. Yeah, because something was going on. I mean, something was definitely going on there, right? And that was one of the first things they come out with, about the blanket. Not, they come out with it. I mean, they talk about they left with a blanket. Yeah, so I don't know. it could have been planted, because all this is more and more seem like, to me, in my opinion, that it was planned. But anyway, this grandmother gave her a lot of good prompts. She didn't have to do that, you know. And that to me speaks volumes. It speaks volumes about her and what kind of person she is, what kind of lady she is. She's very, to me, graceful and honest, in my opinion. Hey, D-Buck girl. Hello, hello. Holly S. Hello. And yes, it's very sad that she has not seen them. Very sad. But she has some of the cutest pictures, you know. What stood out to me the most is that she did not bash her. She did not bash her at all. Even when she told her that her and her son was not getting along and she didn't think they were going to make it, you know, she seemed like she really cared about Malaya. And again, that really stood out to me. Now, she did say, this is a little confusing here, but again, there's a lot of rumors out there. She did say her son, Cody, was never in jail. So I don't know. I don't know if what's out there was rumors or was it true. I don't know. I didn't look up any of those records. I don't know if those records were official, if they were created, if that was him, another person. I don't know. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend I do. Justin seemed to think that when she said that, that cleared up a lot of rumors. Hey, Vic. Hello, hello. So I don't know. And I still haven't had time to go check into it. I don't know. I don't really think that's important, to be honest with you. I really don't. I think it's really mute at this point. I don't think it matters. It's not like he's got kids that's unfortunately going to be going home to him. I don't think any of that matters. I think it's beside the point at this point. Honestly. Oh no, Rogue. I got overheated today having heart palps. Can't figure out my password for Google. Got a new phone. My original YouTube profile. I'm a mod for Lady. And am scared that she will get mad. I am embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. Just let her know. Honey, if y'all knew how many times I have to change my password. And just to my Apple, and look, I'm scared to change my phone again because then I have to rechange everything again. I am so worried about that because it's like every time I have to change something. No, it's okay. Many prayers to you. Many prayers. Love you bunches. It's okay. We all need prayers once in a while, right? Actually, more than once in a while. No, you're not. Sometimes it just feels like that. I think I asked my doctor one time when I was in my 30s. He's like, why do you say that? And then every year I go for a check now and they ask me these stupid questions like, can you say this backwards? And I'm gonna ask you. And every time they go, I'm gonna ask you this question, then I'll come back and ask you a minute. I'm gonna give you the address. No, it's the address. It's always the address. I'm gonna give you this address, and then I'll come back and ask you here in about 5 minutes. And then they'll go, what's the address and the zip code and whatever? And I'm like, well, it's this street and it's this, I think, house number. And I never get the zip code right. It's like, how am I supposed to remember it? I don't know. This is not something I do in my everyday life. So stupid. They need to get a better way to figure out if you have that or not. I'm just saying. I always end up passing, but it's like so stupid. And then they'll go, can you say this backwards or do this backwards? And I'm like, oh God, think. Really? It'll take me about 15 minutes, but I guess. Again, I'm not the sharpest tool in the room, but we'll get it if it means I'll pass. I don't know. Hello, everybody coming in. You are not dumb. No, you're not. Oh my God. Yeah. You get messed up on the clock. I know. It's like, it's so crazy. But let's watch. I want to watch this grandma. Let's see. Do we want to watch that one first? I seen Justin's got cut off. I don't know why I did that, but anyway, we're gonna watch it. I already had one put up in a short, but we're gonna watch this. I don't know what's going on. Let's hope everything's okay. I know I forget constantly too, but it's okay. No, you're not dumb. Don't say that. Don't say that. All right, we're gonna watch this because I want. I think this is evil when evil exists, and we're gonna see.
Belinda Gray, the paternal grandmother, seems to be the only grandparent that is genuinely concerned and sick with worry over the disappearance of siblings, Lily and Jack. She has been posting their pictures daily on her Facebook page, went out to search, and speaks with YouTubers to try and spread awareness. She wants her grandchildren found. Today, Belinda did a very interesting on-camera interview, and she gave a lot of insight into Jack and Lily, Malaya, as well as her son, Cody. Belinda said that she learned that Jack and Lily were missing after getting a call from a family member saying that the kids are on the news and shared a Facebook article. She texted Malaya, and Malaya confirmed that the kids were missing since that morning. Early parts of the morning, cops showed up at her house, went inside, stood in the kitchen and wanted to talk to Cody. They wanted to make sure the kids weren't there. The next day, Belinda and some of her family members went out to the woods to help search. She explained how dense the woods are. When they finished searching, she went in to see Malaya, who was emotionless. Belinda says that Malaya is usually soft-spoken and a very good mother. She never yelled at the kids. When talking about the state of the home the children lived in, she said it was the total opposite of the Malaya she knew. Malaya was always clean about herself, about the kids, and her home, but that home looked like a camp. Belinda said that Lily is the first granddaughter, she is the little princess. Jack was such a serious baby, she shared the cutest videos of the kids too, as babies. Cody and Malaya were together for 3.5 years, when Malaya shared that they were having problems. After Cody and Malaya broke up, Malaya would still bring the kids over. When Malaya petitioned the courts for full custody, Cody said he was done. He hasn't seen the kids since they were babies. Belinda says Cody was questioned for over an hour, and she was questioned for 2 hours. She was happy to help the police with whatever they needed. Belinda believes that someone hurt the kids, and that they are not in the woods. I've linked the full interview down below. Take a look.
So yeah, that wasn't okay. Hold on a minute. I don't know. Okay, that wasn't it. I'm scared if I play that other one. I don't know. Okay, we're going to listen to it anyway. I think, maybe. These babies are gone. My heart tells me that. I am the grandmother of Lily and Jack. I am the grandmother on the biological father. Hold on. All right, this is True Crime and Coffee. Can somebody drop that link for me? And we'll listen to this one. This is the full interview. Let me do something here. Hold on. All right, that's True Crime and Coffee, but this is the full interview. But we're just going to listen to it like this. Side. My son is Cody Sullivan. He's not in jail. He's never been out west. He does not have a criminal record. He's and right now he's living with me. He has been for 9 months.
How did you find out that Lily and Jack were missing?
The mom of my grandson called me. We were in town. She asked if I heard the news. She sent me the article that was on Facebook showing the kids missing. I think so, Michelle. I couldn't call Malay yet, so I waited till we got home. And I called, well, I didn't call her, I texted her. And she told me that, yes, that the kids were missing, that they've been missing since this morning. I was in a state of panic, shock. But in the back of my mind, I kept saying, well, they'll find them. I mean, I'm assuming that they'd find them. So I told her, well, we'll head out first thing in the morning and help with the search. Right, it was around 3, between 3 and 3:30 in the morning. A couple of cop cars pull into the driveway. The lights wake me up that I'm a fairly light sleeper, so I see the cars pull in, so I knew what it was. So they come inside. They only stood in the kitchen. They wanted me to wake Cody up, and they wanted to know when was the last time he had seen the kids, and that they were just making sure that the kids weren't here. And then they left.
It's okay, Millie. Just write the name
so
in there.
So we showed up Saturday morning, me and my sister, and
she's on TikTok,
we met
so
up
just
with
write
my
the name in there. She may not have a
we
channel
started,
here.
Well, I asked Malaya, I said, Malaya, I said, you know your kids. Nobody knows their kids like their mom. Where do your kids normally go to play out in the yard? What direction do they usually like to explore? And she said, well, they always play up in the little woods right on the side. I said, well, okay. I said, we'll start from that point and we'll work our way out. We had spoken to a search and rescue, and we weren't allowed on the other side because that's where they were searching at the time. So we just started combing through the woods up through there. We were gone for a couple of hours. I'm yelling for Lily and Jack. We always call Jack Jackie Boy.
Jackie Boy.
And yeah, that went on for a few hours, but those woods, I started to feel that I can't see them being in the woods. There's trees everywhere. You literally have to climb over trees, climb under bushes. It is really, really thick. We come back out, and I went in to see Malay again. I assumed she was in shock. She was very, very non-emotional, very just flat, monotone. But Malay is very soft-spoken anyway. That she's not usually excitable. I thought that's made her a really great mom. She was an excellent mom. She never raised her kid or her voice at the kids. That it was always, now Lily, what did mommy say? And I used to think, now if anybody's meant to be a mom, it was her. A part of me still feels that.
She could have said anything. I think that right there spoke volumes to me.
I consider myself a good person, but if that was mine, I would probably be a little bit more harsh and judgmental. I probably want to shake somebody to death and be like, where is my grandkids? And I'll just be honest with you. I'm not so sure that I could get on there and be like, I'd probably be like, I remember this time and I remember that time, and I'd be like, why ain't she coming out talking? I mean, I'm just telling you, this is a good woman right here. And she, I don't think anybody's been cleared, Millie. I do think he passed his polygraph, though. Of course, they don't hold up in court, but that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. But I do think that this lady, but I want y'all to listen to what she says, because we all seen it through pictures and everything. She says, used to be. And I think in those pictures, I don't know what happened. She's been with Daniel 2 years. And I'm not trying to blame him, because she could have very easily got on rugs or anything. Hey, Andrea. There could have been abuse going on. That's flying out there. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I'm not saying that's the case. I don't know. She could have got there and got tired of that, had that baby, tired of living where she was living, because this lady said she used to keep a good house, and we saw that in the pictures, but things just started going downhill money-wise. I don't know. There's no rhyme and no reason, and there's no excuse whatsoever. I'm just saying, you could see in the pictures. There's no way you couldn't. But what was going on? I don't know. But again, this lady could have said anything, but she didn't. To me, that speaks volumes.
Why only a part of you still feels that? What do you mean?
After seeing the place, seeing the condition of the home, it was like the total opposite of what I knew of Malaya. She was always clean, very clean about herself, about the kids, about her home. This home looked more like a camp. Now, I don't know if it's from all the people that were there, because I didn't show up till the day after, but it was very unkempt. I was pretty surprised. Lily is, she was my little dream girl, that's the first granddaughter. And I love that she had the brown hair, and she had a space between her teeth, which I had when I was a kid. So yeah, she was our little princess. Jack was such a sober, serious little baby that he didn't like to smile. You could tickle him, and he would look at you ever so serious, like he was really studying you.
And so how long were your son and Malaya together?
3.5 years, I think it was, yeah. I thought they were the picture-perfect family. And Malaya started to tell me that they were having problems and she wasn't happy. She told me that she wasn't happy and she thinks she's going to leave. And I told her that we supported whatever she decides, that one good parent is way better than 2 broken ones.
And then how did that change your relationship with Lily and Jack?
I thought it was going to change, but it didn't. Yeah, it didn't change. Malaya, she was a sweetheart. Anytime we wanted to see the kids, she'd come by for a visit. She'd bring them by all the time. It was actually really, really good.
So when was the last time you saw the children?
1.5 years, almost, really. It's about 1 year and 9 months.
How did you deal with that?
Really, to be honest, maybe I didn't deal good enough with it. I looked at the fact that when her and my son separated, my son walked away. He chose to walk away, that she wanted sole custody of the kids. So she petitioned the courts for sole custody. And when she did that, he said he was done.
Were you ever formally questioned?
Yes.
So then it's about a month after Lily and Jack are last seen that they come and formally question you.
So it's about 3 weeks. They questioned Cody for an hour and a half in the vehicle, and then they questioned me for 2 hours in the vehicle.
How did that feel to you?
I didn't mind. I mean, to me, I expect I'm the grandmother, so it wasn't a surprise to me. I'm assuming the sooner they do all that, I wish they would have done it sooner, that the sooner they can move on. So I didn't have a problem. My son was a little upset about it. He said they made him feel like he did something wrong, and he said he hadn't seen the kids in 3 years. So he was a little upset about it. That he said that they really come at him hard. They wanted to know what her favorite color was, and he said they were babies when I seen them last. He said she was just learning what she wanted to figure out to eat. I don't know what her color is. So yeah, he was pretty upset.
Have they ever talked to him again since then?
I mean, what's he supposed to say?
Ago, they had contact, and they told him that they weren't looking his way anymore, that everything was fine.
And have they ever given you any information?
No, it's always the same thing.
Welcome in, everybody.
They've got everybody on it. They are looking at all avenues. They can't divulge any information that could compromise their investigation. It's the exact same words.
Why are you so sure they're not in the woods?
I have children. I have grandchildren. And I see what kids are like through the woods. There's no reason for any child to wander deep into the woods. There's just not. I think somebody hurt these kids. I think somebody hurt them.
You don't sound very hopeful.
No. Our last day searching on Monday and seeing the woods and seeing the searchers and everybody everywhere. There's no way those kids are in the woods. There is nothing more pure and innocent than a 6 and a 4-year-old. And they deserve so much better than what they got.
I think she's devastated. Yeah, I'm kind of, I have worried about that several times, Kiki, about his brother. And it's hard when you have another family that you have to also live with. And I'm not making excuses about anything, but, that she, a lot goes on too. So that's, I don't even know. I have no idea, but something, made her, in my opinion, just not give a flip and start going downhill. And I don't know. I don't understand. Hey, YouTuber, how are you doing? I don't know. But that used to be, she said, a good mother, kind of, that just really just stood out to me. I think that was so graceful and honest, in my opinion. That stood out to me the most. She didn't try to bash her. Because I think she was the children's mother, and it was clear. But she did say her son Cody, she stepped up for him and said he's never been in jail. That's been floating around as rumors out here. She cleared that up, and I think that was important for her as a mother to set the record straight, you know, and that was important as far as from a voice that matters. But at this point, I think it don't really matter. It's because if you hear the police tell it, there's going to be, unless it's just a miracle, it's not like any kids are going back to him or anybody else. And I hate to say that. That gave me chills to say that. Unless it's a miracle. And miracles happen every day. Hey, they might find them kids sitting on the side of the road somewhere. You never know. Somebody might see what happened today. They might really have them. And they might set them on the side of the road and say, we can get out of this. This is our way out. Same with Sebastian. Anything. We don't know. You know, we don't know. It's a sad case. I want to hear, I got this short video I guess Daniel did. I do want to hear this because I hadn't got a chance to hear this. Y'all may have. I have not. This is from Deception Detective, and evidently he's saying he slipped.
Came in multiple times. I was not in deep sleep by any means. And then about 20 minutes passed. And then
Thank you
when
so
I woke up,
much.
my aunt was right beside me. She was still asleep. And I said, I don't hear Lily and Jack. I ran up in the woods to the kids. They have cabins up in the woods, which only took me like 30 seconds. I came right back down. She was on the phone with the RCMP.
That's Daniel Martell, and I think he's lying about his missing stepchildren. And it's not just because that story literally did not make sense. So in today's video, let's watch his CBC interview and count the red flags. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation. So if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For exclusives and other cool perks, join the channel. Link in description. If you have two versions of the same story, debunking one of them is pretty easy. All you have to do is look for contradictions. If there are any, they can't both be true. So before we grab our deception decks and break down Daniel's version of that morning in the CBC interview, here's Malaya's version from a month ago.
Thank you so much.
Sliding door, and we can't hear
I
it when it opens.
was trying to get the banner and everything else.
And
there we
they were
go.
outside
Thank you
playing,
so much.
but
Thank
we weren't
you.
aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet. And we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call.
Malaya said she's the one who noticed the kids were gone and alerted Daniel. He said the opposite. Malaya said they both went outside looking for the kids. Daniel said he was out for 30 seconds, and she called the police in the meantime. Those are interpersonal contradictions, or contradictions between two people's stories. And typically, if one is guilty and one is innocent, the innocent person will point out the contradictions and be suspicious of the one who's clearly lying. So the fact that Daniel and Malaya haven't done that suggests to me that they're co-conspirators and this entire story is scripted. And there are plenty more signs of scripting and fabrication in that story. I've already pointed out a bunch of them in my previous videos in this series, which I recommend you binge watch if you haven't seen them yet. But there's plenty more in this interview itself, so let's watch.
A home deep in rural Nova Scotia, 140 kilometers northeast of Halifax, the last known location.
A lot of area to cover. Here.
Not one, but two missing children. A dog that barks at everything, a mother who left on the second day, a father who hasn't seen the kids in 3 years, and a stepfather trying to piece things together.
It's been a long 6 weeks. I know that everybody basically in the world at this point is always wanting to know what happened.
The mystery of what happened to 6-year-old Lily Mae Sullivan and her 4-year-old brother, Jack William James Sullivan, is indeed gripping the country and beyond. It is Friday, May 2nd. Martell and his partner, Malaya Brooks Murray, the children's mother, are having a lazy morning with their baby. Lily and Jack are in the kitchen alone.
Malaya and baby were asleep. Lily came in multiple times. I was not in deep sleep by any means. And then about 20 minutes passed. And then when I woke up, Malaya was right beside me. She was still asleep. And I said, I don't hear Lily and Jack.
The time, no one will say for sure, but police say it was around 10 a.m. when they got a 911 call.
I ran up in the woods to the kids. They have cabins up in the woods, which only took me like 30 seconds. I came right back down. She was on the phone with the RCMP.
There are a ton of problems with this story, so let's go through them one by one. First, as I already pointed out, it directly contradicts Malaya's version of events, which is typical of co-conspirators reciting a scripted story. A made-up stuff just doesn't stick as well in the brain as a real memory. Second, it's extremely vague, especially when it comes down to the timing of everything. For instance, he said that Lily came into the room multiple times, and then suddenly he's saying 20 minutes later he woke up. He woke up 20 minutes after what exactly? Third, the story just isn't reasonable, which is one of the criteria from the Assessing Stories card in my deception deck, my 52 favorite rules for spotting lies and manipulation. If his story is true, Malaya called the police before they'd even checked the backyard to see if the kids were out there. Remember, he said that they noticed the kids were being quiet. He immediately went outside for 30 seconds, and when he came back, she was already calling the police. Finally, the tone of the story itself is off, another criteria from my Assessing Stories card. And by that, I mean Daniel's main objective here is to alibi Malaya. He made a point of telling us that he wasn't totally asleep and that she was definitely sleeping next to him when he woke up and she couldn't have crept off. But if his story is true, he can't be 100% sure about that. And what about these contradictions? Is he not concerned that her story doesn't match his? He doesn't even seem to be concerned that a kidnapper might have taken the kids or the kid's biological dad who's still out there somewhere. His sole objective, it seems, is to alibi himself and Malaya and express zero curiosity about what happened or request any help to figure out what actually happened. But it gets worse. Let's keep listening.
I ran up in the woods to the kids. They have cabins up in the woods, which only took me like 30 seconds. I came right back down. She was on the phone with the RCMP.
For 6 days, crews
It has,
tackled an
Andrea.
exhaustive
Stories
search. The
change.
children's mother took the baby to be with her family in another part of the province. Her mother told CBC News the RCMP told them not to speak with news reporters. The RCMP says it just advised everyone to be mindful of the information they share publicly. On May 7th,
Yes,
police
Rick.
scaled back the search.
The probability of survival was taken into consideration.
But search crews returned for 2 more weekends until the end of May, searching wells, mine shafts, and septic systems, even flying a drone beneath the home.
The 4-year-old is wearing some blue dinosaur boots.
Police say they found a boot print. And listen to this in the radio chatter.
Families.
See, that's what I don't get from the very start. If they were, and the story was when it very first started, when it very, very first came out, they were both in the bed at 10 o'clock. Because somebody from Canada brought me this story and said, will you please cover it? So I did it like the very first day within hours. And they were having to tell me how to spell their name, and I had their ages backwards, and God, my clothes are starting to fall off. And I had their ages backwards, and I was changing that and everything. So the people was helping me along as I was live. But they said they were in the bed at 10 o'clock, and we were going, who's in the bed with 3 kids at 10 o'clock in the morning? But then it came out that, when the police call came out, what they say, 8 o'clock, that was a 2-hour difference. And then they said Lily kept peeping around the corner. They could see her pink shirt. There were so many odd things that changed. But even if they were in the bed, think of this, if you were laying down and she was peeping around the corner. Just pretend it's the corner. And you could see the shirt. Okay. How did they know that they had on the boots and only Jack had on the diaper? And then later on, it came out that that one picture that they had, it's like they described everything that they had on in the picture. Jack had on the tan stuff and what? None of this was starting to make any sense. And then you're right, Andrea, the brothers clean ATV. I wonder if they rode that and washed it and rode the kids on it, and it made no sense. Are you serious? See, I didn't know about that. Like this case or the one we were talking about earlier? Wait, are you talking about Clarabel's dog, or are you talking about this one? Now I'm confused. Yeah, the odd clothing. Welcome in, everybody. Claire's dog. Oh, no. That makes me so sad. Oh. I wish I wouldn't even told me that. Man, I hate to hear that. And see, it was more close to the house, from my understanding. That's wild.
Brought us to a location there, not far away, that there's a piece of...
We've analyzed plenty of innocent parents on the channel, and they talk to anyone who's willing to listen,
what I'm
even if
thinking.
it means that the public will dogpile
That's
them,
what I'm
or in the
thinking.
case of the parents of Dylan Ealer, who we've also analyzed on the channel,
Beautiful.
actually become the targets of fake ransom requests, which is just absolutely disgusting. So why do I say all this? Because Malaya and her mother are pulling the same trick that we've seen every other hoaxer pull on the channel, trying to tell the public that the police told them not to talk.
Yeah,
when
I
their
heard
kid
that
is out
too,
there missing.
YouTuber.
And even if
That's
the
why I
police
said,
did tell
what?
them not to talk to the press and ask for help finding their kid, which the police made clear that they didn't, imagine if they had. Do you think the father of Seth Rogers would have listened to that advice? Or the mother of Kyron Horman? Or the biological mother of Gannon Stouch? All of whom we've analyzed on the channel. Of course not. In other words, parents of missing children have to face a very unique dilemma which forces them to talk. If they go silent, like Malaya Brooks Murray or the mother of Sebastian Rogers, it basically confirms their guilt in the court of public opinion. But it does help them in the court of law, because the court of law has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that they're guilty. But what about the parents who really care what the court of public opinion thinks and are cocky enough to think that they can fool everyone in the public and even the police? Well, they keep talking. We're only halfway through this CBC mini documentary. If you want to continue analyzing it, let me know by liking, commenting, and sharing. Until next time, stay true.
Yeah, y'all go sub up to Dee if you haven't already. Deception Detective. We love him. He's very, very knowledgeable, very smart, and we love him. I've got to start playing more of him, but Lord, there's so much to do in so little time. So little time. See, I do too in Jack and Lily's case. They said that their dog barked at everything. And I agree. If that dog barked at everything, why did somebody not hear it? And I mean, I know they lived out, but I'm speaking of the family that lived on the property. The brother, the mother, Malaya, Daniel, it makes no sense. What did they do? Go to Hawaii to in their dreams or something? while the dog was just barking away. You know, it was the other way around in Summer Wells' case. All them dogs went to Hawaii and nobody saw the dogs. Maybe in this case, the people went to Hawaii in their dreams. I don't know, man. Some weird stuff's going on in all these missing kids cases. It makes no sense. It really don't. I'm serious, you two. Remember that? I mean, do y'all remember that? It was crazy. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, so in other news, and this is just a brief one, really. Let's see. Was Karen Reed. Y'all know Karen Reed was found not guilty today. Officially not guilty. I know I didn't follow that case really. I followed it enough to, you know, keep up with the news, know what was going on as far as, because when people come ask me, and it's a big case. Hey, it's a big case. The nation was watching it. Everybody wanted to know what was going on. Yeah, I just read about it, or I would pop on, you know. It wasn't something I followed, you know, I'm real into. But she was found not guilty. That was big news today. They thought they had a verdict, and the judge said, then they knocked on the door and they said they didn't have a verdict. She made them put it in the envelope, brought it out, had to tell them that, gave it to the, whatever you call that person, and then they had to write jury on it. And then, I don't know, maybe it was an hour later or something, then they really did have a verdict, and it was not guilty. Karen, for those that don't know, she was accused of killing her boyfriend, which was the Boston police officer, John O'Keefe, in 2022. Allegedly, why we gotta say allegedly? I am too. I'm going to get to that next. Allegedly, by hitting him with an SUV and leaving him to die in the snow. But after a long and dramatic trial, the jury didn't buy the state's version of events, and Karen Reed's defense argued that she was being framed and that the real truth was being buried to protect others connected to law enforcement. And they pointed out there was missing evidence, inconsistent witness testimony, and the fact that some officials may have had conflicts of interest in the case. In the end, the jury believed there was reasonable doubt, and she walked free. Yeah, a lot of people are Andrea. I was seeing, yeah, I mean, I heard a crowd out there. I mean, I watched that part of it. I went back and rewatched it. I didn't watch it. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I went back and rewatched it. And there was a lot of happy people about that. This case become national, and they said it was police corruption, misconduct, and, you know, this is what happens, you know. It was about people being protected, you know, evidence gets hidden, and this is a lot of what we've been talking about. Drew Kay said in Boston, and I'm so glad she's free. Leslie said, I think she's innocent. I mean, this was a big trial, a big deal. It really was. And whether you believe she's innocent or not, from the start, the system has spoken, you know, and this case opened a much bigger door. It you know, and it shows how the justice system works, right? Corruption. So she's free, you know. Personally, I can't personally say either way. I only followed this case enough, just enough, like I'm doing to bring it to y'all tonight, because it was a big, huge case, but I didn't handle it. I don't know. Lorraine says she needed jail time because of the loss of a victim and can't believe she's innocent. Hey, Annabella honeys. Yeah, I don't know enough to judge it either way. I really don't know. You know, I honestly don't know. I just know it was huge. Now, tonight, we're going to talk, last but not least, about a little bit about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And I'm also going to show you a video when we get there. I know Kiki can't wait. About something Kiki did today and she found. But we will go there. And it's about more corruption or we'll get there when we get there. But again, my heart is always heavy, and I always want to speak on Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Always. I can't forget him, and I will not forget him. Not now, not ever. We're in this. I'm in this. So I just can't forget. This case really does haunt me. It really does. I thought Summer Wells' case was bad. Oh my God. I mean, it's kind of the same, but it is different. Both cases are different. They're both tragic. They're both messy, you know. But at least there was updates in Summer Wells. And in fact, old Shoeshine boy came out today, and there was a statement. So at least he gave press conferences. Old Shoeshine gave press conferences. How about that? Evidently, he's still giving press conferences. Well, he gave a statement. Let me just say that. Shoeshine, as I call him. I hope y'all know who I'm talking about, Shoeshine. Mr. Clean. Oh, Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean had something to say. In fact, he came out and he said some off the wall shit. Oh, God. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on a minute. I ain't going to dig through all this crap. What did he say? Let's see. Does anybody have, let's see what Mr. Oh, I know where it's at. Hold on. Oh, no, Justin's got it. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Oh, yeah, of course. All right, let's see what he said. Shit, 7 hours ago. Okay. Let's see what Mr. Shoeshine said. I ain't gonna let y'all see my face because I get kind of mad when I talk about Mr. Shoeshine. He threw a dagger at the YouTubers, okay? We know Mr. Shoeshine sent me an application. I need another one because I wrote all over that son of a bitch. Okay. Actually, now I'm getting pretty good, Mr. Shoeshine, so maybe I need another one so I can, for real, get a job, okay? I just don't want to come to there. Anyway. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, Mr. Shoeshine. Mr. Shoeshine. Mr. Shoeshine. Okay. Sheriff decries. What is that? Decries. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Decries. Decries. It looks like decries to me online. Misinformation about Summer Wells case. The fourth anniversary of the disappearance of Summer Wells from her home in Beach Creek community near Rogersville came and went Sunday with a breakthrough in the case seemingly no closer than it has ever been. The then 5-year-old girl mysteriously disappeared from her home in the 100 block of Ben Hill Road in the late afternoon of June 15, 2021, shortly after reportedly planting flowers with her 3 brothers. Wrong. At her grandmother's camper within walking distance of the family home. I'm just going to read it to you what it says, honey. I ain't got time to correct their mistakes. But anyway, Summer had returned home when the disappearance occurred. Summer, told me she wanted to go back over with her brothers, so I literally walked her halfway between the camper and the house, Candace, her mother, told the Review at the time. I watched her go in the door and I could see her brothers at the kitchen table. When she went in, I walked over and yelled at the boys. I said, "Watch Summer. I'll be right back." I got to fix Mom's knee brace. I was standing right there at the camper. I was over there fixing it. Literally, you could see my house from the camper door. She did not walk back out the front door. Candace said it took maybe 2 to 5 minutes to help her mother, and when she returned home, Summer was missing. When I got done, I came back in and she said, I asked the boys, "Where's your sister?" And they said she went downstairs to play with her toys. "Mom," I said, "Okay." I went and I hollered down the steps. I always holler for them down there. And she said, and she didn't holler back. I said, "Are you sure she's down there?" They said, "Yeah, she just went down there." So I went down there and I searched. I looked everywhere I could. Then I went through the house and I kept calling for her, yelling for her, everything. I came out here outside yelling for her, everything else, and she was nowhere. So I called Don, Summer's father, because I was freaking out. Summer Wells has not been seen since. What happened? No one seems to know. 4 years of controversy and speculation followed. Rumors have swirled about her parents, ranging from the expected small town gossip all the way to the conspiracy theories by professional YouTubers. A number of whom have been run off after trespassing on the property. The passage of time and the failure to find any information that either the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office or the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, both of which remain active on the case, is willing or able to make public, have only fueled the fire. The Hawkins County Sheriff's Office continues to actively work on this case each day. We are still receiving tips that must be thoroughly vetted and validated, said Sheriff Shoeshine Lawson in a media release Friday. Additionally, we continue to monitor and address the spread of misinformation on social media platforms, including content shared by YouTubers and other sources. Wonder if that other source would be the great Timbo. Just wondering. Despite the inability to solve the case or find Summer either dead or alive. Well, that was kind of rude to say it like that, Mr. Shoeshine. Anyway, Lawson promised the case is not forgotten. Oh, it only was when your son was a RSO under your nose, but I'm just saying. Anyway, promise the case is not forgotten and law enforcement is still dedicated to finding out what happened to her. We want to reassure the public that this case has not been forgotten. You got some catching up to do, son. Or, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, man. And still never will be until some form of closure is found, he said. You think? Lawson concluded by thanking the community for its interest and support. Yeah, you thank that community you're all tangled up in. We ain't forgot who you're friends with. We sure ain't forgot. Boy, we ain't forgot. Them criminals. And that ain't no speculation either. But stated that the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office would not provide any on-camera interviews on this subject. Boy, you're sounding a lot like somebody else. Why don't you just send a note out next time, sonny boy? The search for Summer. Candace told police she summoned her neighbors in an attempt to find her daughter as soon as she realized Summer was missing. She said she never believed Summer had just wandered off. She never went anywhere without me. She'll ask me to go do something before she even goes and does it. And she's scared to go in the woods herself because we've told her time and time again because the bears and the snakes, she said time and time again. Yeah, we remember Don said he scared the shit out of her all the time. Anyway, once law enforcement got involved, they actively searched for Summer for 13 days. On June 28, 2021, they stated they were searching for a late model red 1998 to 2000 Toyota Tacoma truck seen in the area at the time of Summer's disappearance. Oh, yeah, so many people had some. Even Shoeshine had one like that. Let's just see here. However, if this lead produced any information, it has never been divulged. Later developments. The three boys living in the home with Candace and Don Wells were removed by the Department of Children and Family Services about a month later with no public reason given, except for the one you forgot, Shoeshine, that Don Wells said they needed protection. So they called and told them to come take the boys for a little vacation so they would be safe. Remember that, sir. That is public knowledge. Just saying, ain't playing. The Wells reportedly signed over parental rights to the boys in 2024, but Don Wells has since claimed on multiple occasions that he and Candace were cleared of any allegations of child neglect or abuse. This is not public information and cannot be confirmed. Oh boy, Shoeshine. See, that's the real problem. Why don't anybody around here just tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Why don't you just tell the truth that when Timbo owns part of the damn paper, see, you don't want to speak in it or say what you don't want to, because they don't want, are they just not printing what you say, Shoeshine? Why don't you just say when these photos of the one son got out that wasn't supposed to get out, people can really go to jail for that. And you don't want to blame old Timbo for that. Oh my God, y'all are so fucking corrupt up there. But anyway, let me finish reading this so I can get on with my program to the real thing I want to talk about, which is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Okay. Lord, these two cases right here are a hot mess. But Don Wells was arrested for DUI on Halloween night in 2021, and the Hawkins County violence call at the home on January 19th. Boy, that was a sight for sore eyes. Y'all remember that night well, huh? Starting on February 20 of 22, he served a 5-month jail term related to the DUI charge and violating his probation. He was kept in administrative segregation for his safety. Yeah, he thought he was a superstar. The TBI and local law enforcement combined the property of about 350 acres, including local bodies of water, late November 2021, and searched again on February 28, 2022, but found no trace of Summer either time. The Hawkins County Sheriff's Office said it had searched the basement, crawl space, vehicles, outbuildings, barrels, and other items located on the property more than once, and also analyzed the digital communication devices the family processed. Neighbors, registered sex offenders living in nearby questioned. Whoops. Again, I asked, where was the very important one right under everybody's nose on June 15th, 2021? But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody didn't even want to talk about that. Even when I had Miss Becky on the phone at the DA's office, she was stunned I asked that question. When everybody found out, where in the hell was Brandon Lawson on June 15th, 2021? Bloop, 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 bloop. Still haven't got that one answered though, did we? The TBI is still not certain if Summer wandered away from her home and became lost, was abducted, or something else happened to her. In 2023, Lawson stated that the case was definitely not a cold case, but that there was little in the way of new information in June that year. An age progression photo of what Summer Wells might look like now was released. Anyone with information on the case is asked to contact Hawkins County Sheriff's Office at 423-272-4848 or the TBI at 1-800. You should have put a 1 in front of there, idiots. 1-800-TBI-FIND. I would suggest you call the 1-800-TBI-FIND. But that's just me. Hey, who am I? I got to be careful because they would sure send me out another application. And they would address the envelope as my address, but they would address it as to concerned citizen, but too chicken shit to put their address, but yet they mailed it to my home address. What morons up there. I'm telling you what, they're idiots. They're fucking idiots up there. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, there you go. Drew K, thank you. Whoop whoop. Thank you for being a member for 12 months and putting up with old Smiley here. Thank you so much. I told y'all I couldn't show my face because they irritate the frick out of me right there. They really do. That's why I don't hardly talk about this case no more, because I sure couldn't do both of these cases right at the same time, because, woo, buddy, I don't have the patience. One thing I was not blessed with is patience. I'm just telling y'all. So, let's see here. Anyway, but I will give him credit. Credit, fair is fair, and credit where credit is due. At least he does have the common sense to come out and do the freaking pressers, speak. I don't know if it's the narcissistic stuff or what it is. But Pretty Boy, on the other hand, Pretty Boy just wants to sit up and chew the bubble gum, cross his legs, and be a pretty boy, and think people's going to continue to not write letters and try to get them looked into and all the things up there. While Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is still missing, that everybody's going to just shut up and go on about their business, and that's not the case. And he thinks nobody is going to run against him or anything. Well, that just may not be the case. And we're fixing to watch Kiki's here in just a minute. But it's just messy. I thought Summers was messy. No. It's just a little bit different. Sumner County, we got silence, and we got a pretty boy for a sheriff, who won't step up and do the right thing. And it's, we want transparency. And, this 15-year-old boy is missing, and he's got a name. His name is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And he was 15 when he went missing, and now he's 16. He had a birthday, and people are demanding answers and accountability, and we want justice, and we are a voice, and we are going to speak for Sebastian, like it or not. Because whatever happened to him on February 25th, 2024, somebody knows. And silence is not protection. It's guilt by admission. It's guilt by admission. So my mod, Kiki, okay, y'all go subscribe to her. My mod, Kiki, had a good live today, okay? And we're going to watch this. And she's leading up to some things in here. And it leads up to something that me and one of my other mods had went over about in the same area. Not what Kiki found, okay, or the person Kiki found, but we spent hours and hours for months, about 9 months ago, me and 1-800. 1-800 took some time off to be with her family, and that's all I will go into. She comes in and out sometimes. She's on vacation right now. Her kids are out of school, and I can't wait till she gets back so she can see this as well. We spent many nights, late nights, but what you're going to see here is getting into some deep stuff. And when it finally gets to the deep stuff, and then the person that Kiki found, I am literally going to be in touch with this person. Kiki wants me to. I'm going to. And how it could help Sebastian, I guess you'll just have to figure that out yourself. But we're going to watch that. So hold on just a minute. Let me take this down. Make sure I don't have. I want to give her credit. Hold on. Sorry. I'm all over the place tonight. Hold on a minute. Thank you, Drew K. Okay, I want to make sure. Let's see. There you are. Okay, thank you for that. All right. Now, I know she ain't gonna make me play no music. I want to make sure everybody hears this. Okay.
Minutes. We all have been following the case of Sebastian
I didn't
Rogers
start it right at the front.
for a long time. Me, not so much, 5 months. But Smiley, Grace, and a lot of other creators, along with a lot of mods and everyone. And I just want to state that everything is in my opinion and is not always factual, what we read off the internet. But, guys, I think that we need to look into some things. And I just want you guys to see what I saw. It was on Facebook. If you type in corruption in Sumner County, you can actually pull up a lot of things, in my opinion. And I've got some pictures, and me and pictures don't always agree. So if the screen goes weird or anything, I will just have to read it to you. But I want y'all to see there is a guy that was running, I'm not sure what position he was actually running for in Sumner County, but he is claiming that Sumner County is corrupt. One particular person he is speaking out on, which I don't know the person, I don't know if there is corruption or not, because I am not a judge, I am not law enforcement. I just want to be clear on that, okay? But I do want to bring some things up and read some things to you guys. And yes, if you'll hit that like button, share, thumbs up, that will help keep my content going. So I'm going to go to my inbox. Molly suggested and share that with you guys after I get to where I'm going, because we got a lot of pictures. And also, I want to mention how there's a lot of speculation that Sumner County doesn't have the funds on a lot of things to continue searches and such. But that's what we're going to start on first. I pulled up, and this is from 2019. I pulled up some of their financials, okay? And it's public record that the jail has financials for the jail, for the inmates and such. Okay, I'm going to go back to my inbox. This says the jail budget in 2019 is $10.4 million. Let me see, this is so small. Percentage of county budget spent on the jail, 17%. Jail cost per resident was $54. Average daily cost per incarcerated person, $34. The revenue generated from fees and charges, $625.4K. Okay, so in 2019, Sumner County spent a total of $10,422,480. Actually, that's 10 million, it says, on the local jail. This represents 17% of the county's total budget and approximately $54 per resident. So that's saying they only spent $54 per resident. Okay, let's pull more up. And I can't see you guys typing because I'm pulling all this up. It says in Sumner County, okay, we were on that. From 1980 to 2019, Tennessee's jail incarceration rate increased 319% with the rise in mass incarceration. Poor and working people, whether black or white, black or brown, have been harmed by a justice system that criminalizes poverty. Black and brown communities in particular have been disproportionately criminalized and incarcerated. In 2015, Black people in Tennessee were jailed at 2.5 times the rate of white people, but differently, Black people made up 17% of county residents, but 37% of the jail population. Okay, hang on just a second, guys, hang on. Let me pull up. Sorry, it's going to take just a little while for me to pull everything up. So be patient with me, please. Let's see. Okay. You can hear now. Hey, Show Poodles, H. Davis, how are you guys? It says county budgets can be opaque documents that are difficult to compare. Budgets include the authorized expenditures and anticipated revenues, money coming in from taxes, fines, fees, charges for services, state and federal transfers. A county's budget supports community services and infrastructure like sanitation, parks, libraries, roads, courts, and incarceration. Spending on the local jail primarily comes from a city or county's local revenues, except in counties that house larger number of people for other prisons and jails. Counties typically get paid at per diem rate for each person they house on behalf of another authority, effectively creating a market for jail beds and tying county revenue to be continued. Hang on just a second. We're going to get into a lot, okay? I'm just trying to do this to lead up to that, what we're going to talk about. Okay, I just went over that. Trying to find it, guys, sorry. There's a lot of emails. A lot. I've got to count the emails so I know which one it is, so I don't show you the one over. I need to label these. I didn't have time. I wanted to pop on here and show this. Okay, let's go back. That's not it. So that is the budget, evidently. So we are going to look at, did you guys know, and I'm going to pull this up, that Sumner County has an actual app for crimes. Hey, BMW, how are you guys? An app that you can submit a crime, a tip, or what have you on Google Play. I did not know this. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office mobile application is an interactive app developed to help improve communication with area residents. The Sumner County Sheriff app allows residents to connect with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office by reporting crimes, submitting tips, and other interactive features, as well as providing the community the latest public safety news. The reason I wanted to bring that up is I thought it was interesting. If we remember correctly, didn't DP say that he called into a non-emergency number? Could he have possibly, and this is just speculation, and in my opinion, but could he have and allegedly used an app? Did you all know about the app? Because I did not. Okay, we're going to continue. Let me see if I can keep my email straight. Wish I could just click and go to the next one. It would be great. Let's see. There probably is a way to go to the next one, and I just don't know how. Okay. Right here is the comments on the app. He put her on three-way. Okay. Who knows? I don't believe anything half the time. But this lady says photos would be helpful. Overall, useful app. I like the weather alerts. It crashed for no reason a few times, but I suppose that they expected with the new app. So there's the reviews. But we're going to move forward. I don't want to put anything out there that's false, so I'm glad that you all correct me as I go. If I make a mistake, do feel free to say, well, in my opinion, or I thought that this happened instead of what you're saying. Okay. Let's see here. On Facebook also is a picture that says corruption in excess of 30 years for Sumner County. This was back in 2020. LaRonda Sweet would still be living in if the sheriff's department would have followed the nepotism rule in 831, 103, 107. The officer who Cade her, was the father of the assistant deputy sheriff, and that should have never been. So a useless death because the rules were not followed. The next says, go to Tennessee, business entity, search and put in the following companies. But that's bonding companies, so we're not going to talk about that. We're going to go to the next. Very interesting, Smiley. Very, very. Okay. So, y'all wait. This is so crazy. This 2019, I'm taking Sumner County to federal court and will make D. Gay testify against himself or be charged perjury. I also would show John Jones stole in excess of $10,000 from me in the corruption of Sumner County. Then someone writes, and this is all on Facebook. This is not my writings. This is speculation, in my opinion. It says, look at the unconstitutional staff. I will put this tampered with. Okay, let's see. I'm leading up to something, guys, okay? So just hang on. Hang on. Okay, sorry. Let's go here. Let's go to my inbox. Sorry, I have to hop back and forth, everybody. And I'm going to have to do this in a two-part series because there's so much. So much. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to find something. I've got to label these. Okay. Now, here, and this is where it gets interesting. He's calling out one person, I know, but he's a candidate for office. Okay? Now listen to everything I say. Corrupt Sumner County. This is November 27, 2024. Corrupt Sumner County Circuit Court Judge Joe H. Thompson. For many years, I've been working to have Sumner County Circuit Court Judge Joe H. Thompson impeached for crimes committed in office. This is all speculation, guys. See links to below discussed events and first comment. In February 2016, I filed a complaint with the TBJC against Judge Thompson. My complaint was wrongfully dismissed without investigation, concluding insufficient evidence, despite the fact that I included hundreds of pages of certified court reporter transcripts proving Thompson perpetrated crimes from the bench. I did not sue Thompson for money. The relief I sought was to bold his judgments and order Thompson to provide fair due process to future litigants. Can barely see. In October 2016, I filed a federal lawsuit against Judge Thompson in the Middle Tennessee United States District Court. Judge Thompson did not dispute my allegations, instead moving the court to dismiss my lawsuit, arguing that judges have absolute immunity and are above the law, while that case was pending in the Supreme Court of the United States. Okay, hang on just a second. We're leading up to something, whether y'all think I'm crazy or what, okay? But this is interesting to me. I'll tell you why and explain why. And some people have already seen some of the things and heard some. Let's see. Has anyone seen any of this? First off, is what I wanted to know. Let's see. Okay. We're going to read this one, and then I'm going to hop to the main thing. Hi, Ann Reynolds. Hi, H. Davis, BMW Coupe. I think I've already said hello, but hello again. Okay. On September 19th, 2024, News Channel 5 Nashville posted an article titled Conspiracy Theorist Threaten Retaliation Against Tennessee Judge, District Attorney, and TBI agents. Y'all hear that? From the News Channel 5 article, the Millersville is only, I think, 20 minutes from Hendersonville, guys. Police Department and Sean Taylor become the focus of a TBI investigation this summer, following questions raised by a News Channel 5 investigates. During the September 11th podcast, Fitchum accused Judge Thompson of being involved in groups that are affiliated with the housing industry and the money laundering scheme that has been funding everything from local races all the way up to Latinia James and Fannie Willis and those individuals who are attacking President Trump. Although the News Channel 5 article refers to Judge Thompson's accusers of conspiracy theorists, it would not surprise me that the Judge Joe Thompson is, and this is quotations from John Gentry, not from me, okay, involved in groups that are affiliated with the housing industry and the money laundering scheme that has been funding everything from local races. Okay, hang on. It gets better. Hang on just a second. Let's pull another one up. Let's go to the next. Okay, I gotta find out where I was at. Okay, you guys, this is scary to me. Okay? Very scary. This is where I worry about, and my computer just, okay. This is where I worry about Sebastian. I'm not blaming this on no one. I am not accusing anyone. But just read between the lines and you voice your opinion. John Gentry, candidate for office on November 27, 2024, speaks, and he writes a lot in here, guys. I think maybe we need to contact John Gentry and have some communication with him, possibly. Here is how a housing industry money laundering scheme might work. To launder money through housing, you need inventory, so you build new houses. To build new houses, you need to rezone agriculturally designated or royal land to single-family homes. Money obtained through illegal activities, such as rug trade or adult or child trafficking, is used as a cash down payment on a new home purchased by a dummy corporation. A $40K or $80K cash down payment does not raise red flags. This dummy corporation purchases lots of homes. To get the money out, a multi-million-dollar loan is obtained using the purchased homes as bundled collateral. A $10 million loan is taken out using 25 $400,000 homes as collateral. Perhaps for a while, the home is used as a WHORE house for trafficked victims, or like as reported in California, to manufacture rugs or grow hemp. Later, the homes are sold and used to pay back the multi-million-dollar loans. Did you all read that? Did you all hear that? Hello, Sue. So the housing market, and he's claiming there is money laundering. Okay. So I think it's worth a look to check in to that area. What do you guys think? I think so. I think I have one more email and then we're going to finish up because I think she's got to wash my hair. But I wanted to show you a picture if I can find it. If you will just go on Facebook and pull up John Gentry, candidate for office. I can't show all of these right now, but you guys just go read. You will see what I'm talking about. For some reason, I just feel like this needs to be looked into. There's a picture also on Facebook. And that's what I'm trying to find, but I can't find it right now. And it says, okay, it literally says that someone tried to go to Sumner County and knock on the sheriff's office door. This is all opinion because I was not there. They took a picture because no one was answering the door. No one was, I guess, doing their job the way they were supposed to do their job. And this person on Facebook took a picture of them playing how they draw their guns right behind the desk. What do you think about that? They were playing with their guns, how to draw their guns with each other and laughing, cutting up. The lady couldn't even get in the door. So, my question is Sumner County still looking for Sebastian? Are you still looking for Sebastian? I know I might get a little hate off of this, and please don't think I'm spreading misinformation. I'm actually just reading what a candidate in Nashville, and you can look him up, stated on Facebook. Okay? And we've all been wondering. I don't think nothing's getting done because they do not care, in my opinion. And here we have a $1 million housing market going on. Millions of dollars. Y'all, I believe that, in my opinion, this is bigger than what we think. Okay? I think this is way, way bigger. So, what's your opinions, guys? I see some in the chat. And I'm going to cover more on this about Sebastian. Smiley, I did not tag Seth in this because it wasn't really about Sebastian, but kind of about the county. Like I always said from the beginning, follow that money trail. Yeah. It's kind of sad, but they've got millions of dollars, evidently, in my opinion. So, he will see it. Okay, thank you, Smiley. I just didn't want to tag him because I don't feel right tagging him unless I'm actually talking about his son. And I don't do hashtags all the time just for that reason. But I think that we actually need to look into this. Exactly, Smiley. No need to worry him. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He's got enough on his plate. He's got enough people probably driving him insane. So, thank you guys for coming in. Just do your own research.
Sorry, I'm sitting there talking to myself. Thank you for that, Kiki. That was a good find and some good information and everything. Yeah, I think that definitely needs to be looked into. I know I was muted. Oh my God, I always forget that. But yeah, and I think that needs to be talked about. And that was a great job. That's right. That was a great job, Kiki. She's good at that. And she's good at her research and stuff. That's a great job and was a great find. So definitely thank you for that. It was very interesting. And like I said, I think it goes back. I would have to go back because it was about 9 months ago, but I can't remember what part of Tennessee, probably all over, but what part we tracked down to when we was looking in some certain areas, and we're like, oh my God. But anyway, it's out there, and they're buying up. They also have some homes that they are buying up way, way lower than they are. And I said they. Well, we already got a real estate person in the family, right? But she's not really the one that has the money. You got to follow the money, honey. So, and then there's, they got their own little you just got to do your research. And, then you got the one that sits back and not gets, there you go, the builder. Then you got to sit back and, the one that don't get their hands dirty. Hello, Mama. And so, you got the father and the son, and, you got all the players there, so it is what it is. So okay, Kiki. So you got all the players there. It's a lot. It is a lot of things, and yes, there's a certain loan officer. It's a lot of stuff. I don't know if I told y'all one time or not. I don't really want to get into the details or stuff, but and I might have went a little far in the details at one point, but I don't really feel like going into them again. But my son had got scammed one time, and he didn't tell me. And anyway, it became obvious, and it's like, "Where's your money going, son?" Anyway, he was being threatened into it. But anyway, never mind all the details and stuff. It don't matter. So call the law and all this stuff. But what I'm trying to tell you, and the main point is that the takeaway from this is, the officer said, because basically he was so scared that even when the officer came, he thought the officer was fake. I mean, that's how scared into it he was. So some people can be anyway, it don't matter. The point of the matter is, the officer even told us, like, look, you don't understand. He's like, these people literally have these real jobs in, they go to work every day. They punch a time card. They're in, whatever, what we're talking about now, right now. You got them in the car lots. You got them in the post office. You got them in the title places. You got them in the banks. You got them here. You got them there. And one hand does this for the other hand, and the other hand does it for this hand. And, they do it. So if y'all understand what I'm saying. And then he goes, and then you literally got somebody like your living room with nothing but 20 desks sitting in there, and they're all in their own computers and phones, and they're literally come in and they literally punch a time clock, and they are literally doing nothing but 9 to 5 scamming. Scam. So anyway, he explained all that, but you got them in your courthouse. You got them and they look like everyday people. That's right. Good old boy system. And it's sad, and it's hard to prove, it's just, they're paid. Exactly. They're paid to scam, and it's their job. It's their job. Just like you get up and you go to work every single day, and they make a living for it. just like somebody's got their real estate license over there. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying. You look at them and you go, oh, they're a real estate person. Yeah. Ah, this one's got a nice job. Or they own their own company. All right. Give me a 1 in here if y'all saw Breaking Bad. Y'all did watch Breaking Bad, right? It wasn't all about the drugs, but I'm talking about you did watch Breaking Bad and how they bought a car wash and how they laundered the money through the car wash, didn't you? Oh, well, it's still out there. Maybe you should. Everybody watched it because just even if you don't do the rugs, you even had people and teachers and stuff watching it. I mean, seriously. And now look, these are the kind of shows I like to watch later on because you don't have to wait till next week to watch the second week, the second part. You can sit there and you can just binge watch. Oh, you should. It'll give you a real, this stuff really goes on. This stuff really goes on. Yeah, I'm going to try my best to literally talk with him. So, but yeah. Let me see what you got. Let me see what you got, Kiki. Hold on. Oh, okay. Gotcha. But anyway, because this guy, he wants to clean up Sumner County. So I'm going to, I definitely am going to talk to him. I would love to, just personally speak with him, but I'm going to get in touch with him regardless. Sumner County has gone stone cold silent, and that screams louder than any press conference ever could, in my opinion. It really does. So I'll watch out, pretty boy. You may have somebody to run that actually has some pull and can get some stuff done. I do want to end this by thanking Kiki for finding that and doing that. Stay on top of things. And, really, let's stay on this. Let's keep Sebastian's name and face out there and do everything that we can. Everybody just do your part. And sometimes everybody's got a part. Sometimes you don't have to do anything. Just be here. Just hit the thumbs up. Just share so somebody else can hear this, so they can see Sebastian's name, face, or any of these other people. Today, it was a little bit about everything. And then again, we had the good news about Clarabel. Thank God she was found alive. Thank God. Let Sebastian be next. Let, Jack and Lily be found. Let there be some resolution. Michael Monkey Vaughn, when is that going to happen? You know, give Brandy some relief. Anything. Summer. We need more. We need more. So, but if you know anything about Sebastian, Wayne, Drake, Rogers, please come forward. Don't wait. And if you see him, yeah, Karen Harmon, everybody. Everybody needs to be found. It sure was, Bo. Amazing. Man, but that made me sick when y'all told me about her dog. Good God. Since when does a jailhouse people with mental health needs? You know, I don't know. I just don't know anymore. But hopefully something else good will happen tomorrow, you know, or when we wake up, all we can do is pray. Thank you all for spending the evening with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so, so much. And I hope you have a good rest of your night. Thank you very much. Thank you again, Kiki. Keep on it. Good night.